Hi, and thank you for joining me. This is the final video in our SOACS upgrade series, taking our custom configuration from a SOACS 12.2.1.2 environment to a 12.2.1.3 environment using Mist for Oracle Cloud. If you'd like to revisit an overview of all of the steps involved in this process, click the card at the top right of the screen. This is the video where the rubber hits the road, so let's get into it. At the end of this video, we're going to see all of the configuration that we've discovered and upgraded in our previous videos applied to our target environment. To get there, the first thing we'll need to do is discover our existing 12.2.1.3 SOACS environment. We're going to go through the exact same steps we used to create a secure connection to our 12.2.1.2 environment and discover the existing configuration there. Steps 1 and 2 in our series if you want to see that process in more detail. I click Discover from the top menu, then select Cloud Services. I then click Discover at the right of the screen and select Cloud Infrastructure. And here's where we're going to enter the information for RxR SOACS 03, which is our 12.2.1.3 environment. I provide a name for the infrastructure provider, add a key pair to provide secure access, I'll just grab the key contents using a handy-dandy script. And then add an agent credential using that key pair. Once that's done, I add a new host for the admin server and use the agent credential we've just created. And I'll accept all the other defaults. And then we click Add. We test the connection, and everything works A-OK. And remember that all-important Save button down at the left. Now we've added our infrastructure for the service we're going to discover next. We click Discover at the top menu again, then select Cloud Services. We click Discover on the right of the screen, and this time select SOA Cloud Service. The blueprint we're going to select to associate with this cloud service is our 12.2.1.3 blueprint. This determines what Mist thinks the configuration should look like in this environment. It's important that we choose this existing blueprint with all our custom configuration here. Creating a new blueprint would give us a blank slate that only contains the default configuration for SOACS 12.2.1.3, and the ultimate reason that we're here is to migrate that 12.2.1.2 configuration, which exists in the blueprint we created in our last video. More on this shortly. We select our infrastructure provider, enter the full domain directory, specify a name for the model we're creating, and enter the password for the WebLogic user. Remember, you'll need to have a WebLogic administrative user created in order for Mist to connect to a SOACS environment and make configuration changes. If one doesn't exist, you can always create one temporarily and then remove it. We click Discover, and Mist will take a moment to do its thing. Presto! Once Mist is done, we click Next, we can review our cloud service summary, and then we click Done. So now, we have a new cloud service defined in Mist associated with our 12.2.1.3 blueprint. Now, let's go to Actions and select Check for Drift. Once Mist is off and running with that, awesome. So, if you're unfamiliar with Mist's Check for Drift functionality, it reports on the differences between the live configuration it finds in an environment and what is defined in the associated model for the environment. It's a great reporting tool for keeping your environments consistent, which is one of the big reasons, after all, why we take this time to create our cookie cutters in our blueprints and models. And here we have an environment that is a vanilla SOACS 12213 environment, no custom configuration, and our model represents standard 12213 configuration with our custom configuration from 12212 on top. So we should expect Mist to tell us about our missing custom configuration, those JDBC data sources, JMS servers, work managers, and so on that aren't there. Mist has finished looking through the environment, so let's click the View Report icon for the Check for Drift action we've just run. And that's exactly what we see. Our custom configuration is reported as missing from the environment. It's shown in red. We're going to get that configuration into the environment by running an update. But first, let's do that a little more safely using Mist's dry run functionality. We click Actions, then Update, and click the checkbox for Do a Dry Run. This is going to give us a full report of all of the configuration changes that Mist would apply to our environment, but without actually changing anything. Through the magic of video, we fold a little time here. Mist has completed our dry run, and there's our full list of changes that Mist would apply, with our magic text at the bottom. Dry run complete, no changes were activated. Now, if we wanted to be real careful about what Mist was doing, we could review this log with a fine-tooth comb. Let's assume, though, that we're okay with the changes Mist is going to apply, because we've looked at this log a lot of times over here. We pop out of there, and then run an update without selecting the dry run checkbox this time. Mist then does the work that represents why we started all of this in the first place. Our 12212 configuration changes applied to our 12213 environment. We fold a little more time together, and Mist is done performing those updates. We could look back through the logs for the update action to review the changes that were made, but it's going to look a lot like the dry run action logs, just without the disclaimer at the end about no configuration changes. Instead, let's jump into the admin console for our 12213 environment. If we go down to JDBC data sources now, we can see our custom JDBC data sources, same for JMS servers, work managers, and so on. Our 12212 configuration has now been reliably migrated to 12213. We've avoided a lot of tedious manual work and potential rework when we forget things or miss them that we'd have to go through to get that configuration created reliably in our new SOACS version. Thanks for joining us throughout this video series demonstrating migrating SOACS configuration from 12212 to 12213. If there's a specific topic you'd like to see explored in future Mist videos, please reach out to us at the email address in the video description below. We'd love to hear from you. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rubicon Red Mist channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.